Ademani said waiting down can my phone. Hey, come on, you go over. The guy is here.
Yaman beki gwa
Abu go pula. Nyara go away.
Ah, na ke wa go mai na. Oh, la be abu tu go agbo kwa ma. Ah, aya bu pe na. Ah, mu na bu pe. Mu na bu pe. Be abu tu pe la li. Ah, mu na la bu pe. Oh.
I want to share with you all. As you can see here, this video is from Sierra Leone. I just want to show the level of lawlessness, poetic justice, jungle justice. When leaders that are supposed to protect their citizens have failed their citizens woefully. This is what happens. This happens across Africa. So it's becoming a thing where people think it's just normal. You know, somebody steals something from you, okay, it's okay for you to take the law into your own hand. Or they committed a crime, it's okay for you to take the law into your own hand. Because the system has been corrupted so much that nothing works. And this is the Africa that you have some of these presidents, they are asking for seats at the United Nations. But what you're seeing here is because this guy is allegedly, he said he stole a phone. And that is why he's being manhandled like that. It could be worse. But I'm showing you guys this because I want all of us to see this and understand exactly what we're dealing with. But this is the situation. And somebody has to call this nonsense out. When you have leaders that want to lead people, they have a responsibility to ensure that society functions properly. People live like human beings and not like animals. Even animals have some form of control. But this is what is happening across Sierra Leone, and it's a big thing across Africa, and I think it's best we call these things out so people understand exactly what we're dealing with. This should not be normalized. We should not accept this as a normal thing. We are not dogs, we're not animals. Even dogs do better. Even dogs sometimes live better. They have more rights than some citizens, like what you guys are seeing here, because this guy allegedly stole a cell phone. Yes, he has committed a crime. Why do we have the judiciary? Why do we have the systems to ensure that when somebody commits a crime, we don't become the judge, the jury, and the executioner? No, we have a judiciary for a reason. And this is in the south of Sierra Leone. The tribe you guys hear these people speaking is Mende. And this is a common phenomenon across that part of the country where we've seen a lot of violence. But of course, again, like I said, this is prevalent across all over Africa. And this nonsense has to stop. At least I know about Sierra Leone, so I can speak on Sierra Leone. But there is no way that this guy should be manhandled and treated like this. And I do have another video for you all. This is another video. I want you guys to see this. And this video again is same from the southeastern part of Sierra Leone, where, and I'm pointing this out because it's important for you all to know if you don't know anything about Sierra Leone. This is the ruling, the southeastern part of the country is where the ruling government predominantly is from right now, the SLPP political party. The president and all of his goons, they are from that part of the country. And which is why probably, no action will be taken against, the perpetrators of these crimes because they are their brothers. They are all the same tribe, nepotism, tribalism, right? But this is the level of lawlessness that permeates a society, that prevails and is becoming very prevalent. And we have to put a stop to it. And which is why I'm going to call out the players that are involved in these, because when you have your house as a father, the breakdown of your household structure, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, it's because you did not do what you were supposed to do as a father. So there's no discipline in your household. Your kids go out there, they misrepresent you because there is no discipline in the house. They can do whatever they want to do. The other day, one of my neighbors, who was a teacher, went to my son's school, and she was the one telling me that, oh man, Mr. Ibrahim, your son is so respectful. I'm like, he better be, because he knows where he's from. So everything starts from the household. That is the same thing in these countries. In Sierra Leone, what you're looking here, this level of lawlessness and violence, is because the leaders that are supposed to protect their citizens, they failed. The judiciary doesn't work. People take their matters to the police. It doesn't work. Somebody goes there and bribes the police and they'll be free, walking free the next day. So people don't trust the system. However, we should not accept this as a new normal. We should not accept these violent videos across Africa as it's okay. No matter what this boy did, because this one, again, they are speaking Mende. And Mende is a tribe from the southeastern part of Sierra Leone. And the ruling government in power, they are from that side of the country. So I don't understand what they're saying. So I don't know what crime he committed. But whatever this guy would have done, I don't care how egregious the crime is. We all know that we have a judiciary for a reason. That is why when you catch people committing crimes, you take them to the law and let the law, perform its course. But this is what is happening. This is the level of violence. And I wanted to share that with you first. I wanted you guys to see that first. At least. So everybody understands. So we're on the same page. And that way nobody misconstrues the point I'm trying to make here. But this is the situation that we got going on. And I got to point it out. And like I said again, in every society breaks down because we lack leadership. And when these things happen, the sad part is, and this is why I'm doing this, all of these guys would never speak up about this situation. The government, the president, attorney generals, all of these people responsible for the day-to-day running of that country, vice president, opposition, whatever, minister of, justice, the police chief, none of them would make comments to speak up on situations like these. That is why I have an organogram that I've prepared here that I want to share with you all so you guys can see exactly what it is. And this is not the totality of what Sierra Leone's, executive branch looks like. This is not the totality, right? But again, I just pointed out the executive branch, the president, the vice president, the chief minister. And again, as you can see, there's question marks behind their names because in Sierra Leone, we don't have the elections results for the June 24th, 2023 elections. So I want to point that out. But these are some of the critical people that should address situations like those, the video that you guys just watched. These are the people that are responsible for the demise of our society. These are the people that should speak up and make sure that they take action when videos like these surfaces on social media so that it should not repeat itself. But they will pretend as if they don't see it. Nobody's going to speak on this. And this is why it's time we start calling these people out. So I put together this little organogram here so you guys can see exactly what it is so that we can all talk about this thing. But this is sad. This is pathetic. And this is what I want to share with you. I want you guys to see this. As you can see on my screen here, from the top, looking at this, you can see this is the vice president of Sierra Leone there. But let's start from the president himself. Again, remember, like I said, these guys are illegal. But what can we do, right? There's no election result. So I want to point this out so you guys can see exactly who the key players are. If the system is broken down as it is, if there is lawlessness, if there's no control, if everybody feels like they can do whatever they want to do, it is because the head is rotten. And when the head is rotten, the feet definitely is going to get affected at some point. And that is why you see so much violence across Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans, performing these level of atrocious acts against each other. Because the system has been broken down. There is no law, there is no order. Nobody understands their responsibility. These guys wants to have power, but they don't understand what their responsibilities are. That with power comes enormous responsibilities. And they have a responsibility to ensure that our society is a pure society. It's not going to be 100%, but at least we should be able to stop these kinds of egregious acts. There is no part in the Western world where you'll see a video like that and action is not taken against the perpetrators. Forget the crime the person committed. But there is no part in the Western advanced civilized society where you'd see videos like those that I just shared with you guys. Because everybody knows it's not tolerated, it's not accepted. So therefore, let's see, just in case you don't know, why is the system broken down? These are the key players involved. These are the people that are responsible. These are the people that are silent. These are the people that don't speak up or take any action. For us all to see that they're serious about what is actually happening in our country. The president is there. Again, question mark, like I said. That's him right there. Julius Marabio, that's the president. This is Julia Jallo, is the vice president. They all see these videos. But none of them would go out and say, you know what, we are not going to accept this. This is not a way of life. You people should do better than this. They don't care about the citizens of their nation. Just like they don't use the healthcare system, they don't use the educational system. So the people can kill themselves like dogs. They don't care. The judiciary is not functioning. It's not working for the people. This is the guy who's a chief minister. This is him right here. But I want you to see why we have a lawless society. These are the people that are responsible for the lawlessness in Sierra Leone. It starts with the top. You go to any African country that is underdeveloped today, with the people suffering, with people taking the laws into their hands, and nothing is done. Nothing is done to prosecute those people that are committing these kinds of crimes, which is why you keep seeing the same things happening again and again. In Sierra Leone, this is the hierarchy of the political system currently, even though these guys are illegally occupying power. But this is the structure right now you have in Sierra Leone. This is the structure. And we have to call it out for what it is. So again, let me show you the faces. These are the faces of the reason why we have the level of lawlessness that we have today. These are the folks that are responsible for it. These are the people. Now, after the president, the vice president, this chief minister, now, where's the attorney general? Who should be bringing charges against those people that are committing those crimes against the others in that video, in those videos that I just shared? Where's the attorney general? Where's the chief justice? If the attorney general fails to act, the chief justice of the judiciary system in Sierra Leone should reach out to the attorney general and say, we should bring case, prosecute these people for what they've done. Ministry of Foreign Affairs. These guys travel across the world talking about, the reputation of the country and everything. They have a responsibility too to sanitize the image of Sierra Leone. Foreign Affairs Minister, where are they? They see these images. These images makes it rounds on social media and it goes across the world. And it gives my country a very bad name. Sierra Leone, it gives Sierra Leone a bad name. Where are they? Minister of Information, where is he at? With things like these that are happening, when videos like this in a serious society, if I'm in government, it is my responsibility when I see things like this. We're going to talk about it because we want to bring awareness to our people across that country for them to understand that you cannot take the law into your own hand regardless of what somebody does to you. Over the years, we've seen these videos of thieves getting bitten and killed. We've seen it. People taking the law into their own hands. We see it every day. It shouldn't be that way. Internal Affairs Minister, where are these people? They're responsible to protect the citizens in that nation. Every citizen that is in Sierra Leone should be protected by the Minister of Internal Affairs. That is their responsibility. The Minister of Health should be in the picture as well because they should be able to provide medical services to these victims. Because after all of this, not only medical in terms of their health, but when you talk about their emotional, psychological well-being, after you've been treated like that, it affects you forever. These people have no therapeutical, therapy services and stuff like that. That is how young people go crazy and mad. Where is the IG of police? These are all the people that are responsible for the lawlessness in Sierra Leone. Because these people are silent. They're silent. They don't care. What about the opposition? But it starts from the top. That is the president of Sierra Leone right there, who claims he's the president of Sierra Leone. So when the head is rotten, the system becomes rotten. And this bothers me, and that is why I talk about things like these. But if there is no lawlessness today, these are the responsible players. These are the people that allow this foolishness to continue across Sierra Leone. And we should speak up against it. We should not allow it to happen because it should not be treated as a normal situation. It should not be accepted as a normal situation. Under no circumstances. If we all keep quiet and be silent about this, we're going to keep seeing videos like these, and it's traumatic, and it's not fair. It's not fair. It should not happen. So let me show you again these videos so you guys see what we're talking about. It is wrong. It is wrong for people to take the law into their own hands and be treating themselves like this. Just like in this video. It is wrong for people to take the law into their own hands and be doing things like these. And that is the point I want to make to you guys. We have to speak up against these kinds of actions. And I remember there is this image of this other boy. This was back in 2023, around April, when a famous musician by the name Famous. This, if you guys remember, I know Sierra Leoneans, we forget. This boy was killed because allegedly they said he wanted to steal that container over there. And this is what they did to him. They beat him until he died. They beat him until he died. But this is what they did. And I can play the video so you guys can hear what I'm talking about.
This looking girlfriend and then kill this brother well. Now the family goes to this one and kill the body.
You know, I'm pointing this out because I want you guys to see that these crimes have been going on and nothing has been done about it. Nothing has been done. I'm showing you guys this because nothing was done. Nobody was prosecuted for killing this boy. So that famous musician was part of the, it was at his family's house and stuff like that. But no prosecution was done for this. Listen to it. You know, we're going to keep these videos, guys. We're keeping these videos. We have these videos. Somebody should pay for these kinds of acts. And this is the thing, because it keeps happening and nobody pays for it. This boy was killed. I guarantee you nothing happened. No one was prosecuted. Nobody answered for the death of this guy. Again, I don't care what crime he committed. No citizen should take the law into their own hands. This is the situation we have going on. And it has to end. At some point, it has to end. I know we've seen, of course, you know, women getting violated across that country, you know, and these guys really don't give a crap about it. We've seen law enforcement officers taking the law into their own hands and violating women. You know, we've seen it again and again. Citizens of that nation getting killed by the law enforcement. So how are they going to care? The people that are tasked with the responsibility of protecting their citizens, they don't care. And that is a problem that we have. And if we don't speak up about this, it's going to keep happening and more people are going to lose their lives senselessly. And that is why I decided to call out the people that are responsible for all of this. They are sitting there. They see it. They know exactly what it is. We cannot let them go free and just be walking around. And that is why you have people like myself that are coming here to talk about this. So they know we haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten. But guys, that's what I wanted to share with you, okay? It's a short live. I want to thank you all for joining me. But that's what I wanted to show to you guys and let you guys know the key players that are responsible for the destruction and the lawlessness in Sierra Leone. Those are the people, as you've seen them. They are responsible for the lawlessness that we have going on in the country. If they were serious, I guarantee you, we would not have the situations that we have. We would not have this level of lawlessness. So I'm going to show you guys again. This is the president right there. is responsible for the demise of the society, for the total collapse of the society, for the fact that we have no systems in place where citizens can respect themselves, because these leaders don't freaking care about what the citizens do. This is the vice president right there. They're all the same people. They really don't give a crap. This is the so-called chief minister. And you have all these other key players in government that have a responsibility. The attorney general. These are all the people that are responsible for. They're busy, focused, and for me at this point, I've said everything I should have said. Everything that should be said as far as protecting and preserving the democracy, preserving a constitution in Sierra Leone, I have said, and I'm not going to repeat myself until the day the people of Sierra Leone themselves are ready to free themselves from this foolishness. That's the only day that I'm waiting for now. And one day it shall happen. We have the John Jerry Rawlings of Ghana. They freed the people of Ghana. Someday, Sierra Leoneans are going to be free as well. There's no point in talking anymore. Talk. Sometimes you talk. It's bullshit. It makes no sense. But these are the people that are responsible for the destruction and the total collapse of our societal values and morals. No respect for each other. Sierra Leoneans don't love themselves. Sierra Leoneans are some of the people. We hate ourselves like dogs. Swear to God. Sierra Leoneans hate themselves like nothing. Yes, citizens have a responsibility, but however, leaders do have a responsibility to ensure that when citizens fail themselves, they correct it. And these guys are not doing anything to correct the citizens when they fail themselves. It's disgusting, guys. It's disgusting. All right? But I wish you all well. Take care.